good, good. Injury-wise, obviously, Alex had the 10 stitches, on the play where he committed the foul. He had the 10 stitches from that one. Just some bumps and bruises. Alex had a little hyperextension on the knee, but he's fine. He practiced today. T-New a little banged up, but that was a really hard played game. So, and then Donovan, was doing things. Was kind of returned to practice here the last 2 days and is upping what he's doing. So, could be entering that dreaded game time decision point soon here. Maybe not tomorrow, but soon.
So he's out tomorrow.
I didn't say that. I just said that the game. He's getting in. He's feeling great. He's done things. Just a couple days here, and that's just feeling absolutely nothing and feeling great. So we'll see how he's doing tomorrow.
Has the team grown in his absence, or just kind of bided the time to get him back?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the most impactful players in college basketball. It's like, and Sampson's done a great job for us. I mean, even the St. John's game alone, just what he was able to do against one of the most physical teams and one of the best centers in the country, to kind of play that matchup even, allowed us to win a tough Big East game. So, but it's like any of the most impactful players in the country, you take those guys off of their teams, it's going to be a problem. But it's helped us develop a tougher mindset and have to grind games out too in a different way.
I'm sure you're looking forward to have him back where you can you're not playing Alex at the 5 anymore
Yeah. Well, it's something you could choose to do and not have to do out of necessity, right. Which is always, I think, better. But I just when Donovan's in there, I think it puts Sampson in an even better position. Everyone gets better shots. It's harder for the other team to get good shots. It's harder for the other team to rebound the ball. It's easier for us to rebound the ball. It gives us an inside game too, to throw the ball inside. So there's a lot of things that get impacted.
What are your impressions of the way Ed Cooley's built this Georgetown team?
Yeah, they're a much, obviously, significant difference in terms of just the product, how well they're playing, the obviously great road win at Notre Dame, had I think a 3-point lead late versus Seton Hall with the ball, had an unfortunate turnover, like an unforced turnover, that led to, maybe they're up 4, I'm not even sure what the situation was, but but we're in position maybe to steal that one, and kind of unforced turnover led to some bad things for them down the stretch. But it's different these days. Years back, before portal, before NIL, all these things, you had to kind of just eat what for a couple of years, and just work with the players in the program, and just develop young players and go through a 2 or 3 year process where now Ed obviously has got to change a culture and a mindset and a program that has been losing for a couple of years now. But the actual veteran players and talent that they're going to put on the floor tomorrow, it's not going to look like what Georgetown's looked like.
Things are kind of lining up where you could be number 1 on Monday. And I know that's not something that you're really focusing on, but is that something your players have to just put that aside? And I mean, it's probably not a great big deal at this point since you won a national championship.
Yeah, it really isn't. I mean, when you have that, the other doesn't really matter.
Right.
I mean, the Squirrels may talk about it, but not us. I mean, there may be some squirrels that are running around whispering about it, but we practiced really hard the last 2 days. I got tremendous respect for Ed as a coach and the teams he puts on the court, and I have tremendous respect for how brutal these Big East games are, home or away. So That's not something that's even registering for us.
Right.
Playing all these teams that have been overhauled, really, how much different is that in preparation as far as like scouting? You haven't seen those players
Yeah, I
yet.
mean, it really just how quickly a team can flip. I think Heath is the one. Heath is the one guy who is returns for them with the most experience for their team. But it's new starter at center, new backup at center. Epps obviously is a big time player. Styles is a big time player. Brumbaugh, these are major recruits, big time players. Ish, who we obviously know from recruiting Book. They played together in prep school, so it's like a completely different team. We know tomorrow's game's gonna be a war.
How's your mental toughness grown as a team? You've won on the road without Donovan, you've done other things, but how's
Yeah.
it kind of grown?
Yeah, I mean, the suffering of the Seton Hall game and losing him in that game, and then the manner in which things transpired from that point in that game, I think there was a look in the mirror that we had to experience there. And then, really there at that point, I mean, I've just been really impressed from what the boys have been able to do. Because you're really looking at it, that's the stretch of games that we've played, the St. John's at home, and you see how well St. John's is playing, and maybe should have won that game today or could have won that game today. To be able to have a clean sheet since Donovan got hurt there in this league, we've obviously got a lot of work to do tomorrow, but I've been impressed with this group and what they've been able to do with one of the most impactful players out.
What are you, a Premier League guy now? Clean sheet, the boys?
That's my thing, guys. That was my thing last year. I was like half, I watched a lot of Yellowstone, so I had a persona of like a half of a Yellowstone rancher, and then I mixed that with some, a big European soccer manager. So I don't know if you picked up on my accent last year, but I've held on to it.
How much has Haas's play really helped you guys create that mental toughness and get through this span?
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be where we are. It's that we needed big jumps this year. I think we knew that we could have potentially 4 players average between 12, 13, and 15, 16, and Donovan, Alex, Cam, and Tristan. And then we knew Steph would be somewhere, 9, 10 a game. But the big jumps had to happen for Alex, Donovan, T. New, but then Sampson and Haas. If Haas wasn't playing like this, if he didn't take that big jump here, huge, impactful, off the bench, game-changing player like Joey was at times, like Naheem was for us at times last year, we would be. We wouldn't be in this situation. We'd be in a bad situation, or not as good a situation, but probably a bad situation.
You got a couple of your recruits playing up the road. Can you talk what they've done so far? Those 2 guys that are playing up there this weekend.
Yeah. Ahmad's, Ahmad and Isaiah have, both had great years. Both teams are doing great. You can see how a lot of what they're doing is going to translate to, to college. Isaiah's just, all over the court abilities, which we value, multi-positional type of guy. And then Ahmad, just looked great and just looks like a, college guard.
I think you've described Ahmad as being kind of having a Philly attitude or Philly toughness. How do you define that? Is that different from Jersey, or is it an extension of Jersey? How would you define Philly player versus somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, Philly and North Jersey are a little bit rivals, and then we throw South Jersey in with Philly. So, and we let Philly have South Jersey. So North Jersey's a different animal.
Yeah, New York is.
Yeah, and then you got New York, but I think Philly is very similar. They love their basketball. I think he gets coached the way at his high school, and with his mentor, the way that like North Jersey basketball coaches coach. They coach him hard. They're honest with him. It requires the highest level of work ethic to be a great Philly player and to be a great player from North Jersey, because basketball is so personal and means so much. So It's like you just know when Ahmad comes in here, he's going to have a chance to be one of the better freshman guards in the country, one of the better freshmen in the country as a freshman, just because physical strength and then his basketball experience to this point, the people around him.
I know you always talk about basketball people. Is he a basketball person?
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it, and he's played at the highest level, grassroots-wise, and he's a serious guy. You can't do this without serious people. I mean, it's just, you got to have very serious people to do this.
You talked about your defense needing a little work, but you're happy. It seems you get timely stops.
It's been better. I mean, we didn't grab the rebounds. Now, part of it is, Xavier, the physicality in this league. Again, it's this. What goes on for the next couple of months is not what's going to go on. Once we hit March Madness, the basketball, you wouldn't be allowed to do the stuff. I mean, it's these games are. That's why I guess people love to watch it, because it's so brutal and so physical. So we didn't finish possessions with with defensive rebounds, and sometimes we just didn't grab the ball. I think 9 first half points the other day. We gave up on just the ball is loose. They picked it up and scored it. The ball is loose. We didn't finish a possession, grab it. They hit a 3. But our actual playing defense to force a shot that is likely to miss, we did a much better job with that. The 2 areas where we haven't been great, we haven't created turnovers, and then sometimes the defensive rebounding with Donovan out has been a problem.
You talk a lot about Alex's intelligence. Did you know he was this tough as well?
Really not until not till Peach Jam that summer. I think saw him in the spring and saw him in the early summer, and then when we watched him kind of will his team with Des Claude into the playoffs at Peach Jam, which is not easy to do. It's hard to qualify for Peach Jam, never mind get to the playoffs and then try to advance. So I think we saw it there, and then we went to look at him at prep school and just watched him day to day, the passion that he had for basketball, the amount of times he was calling us to talk about basketball. Sick. I mean, it's obsession, but we're all obsessed here, so it's good.
What have the last few days been like for him, just with the stitches as well as a knee injury?
Well, he got back in there today, got some reps. He didn't do anything yesterday because he dove on the floor in the first half and chasing the loose ball and kind of hyperextended the knee a little bit, and then when he got elbowed in the face, and then he fouled the guy maybe because the blood was in his eye, and he missed. So, but today he was back out there, and I think he's got pretty good vision in his eye.
It's a small sample size, but Cam Spencer's splits and wins versus losses, it's like 5 points a game and 16.
Yeah.
Just how important is he?
It's important, and I think he's passed on some shots. I think we got even late possession, late clock. Obviously, you got a lead on the road. You're trying to run some clock, but then once you decide to play, you got to get aggressive and start attacking quickly, which we didn't do down the stretch, and we had a chance to watch it and learn from it. But yeah, he's got to shoot more. I think he's got to be more offensive minded. I think he passed. He probably should have taken 3 or 4 more shots in the Xavier game, and I think that he's got to be more aggressive even than he is, because if he doesn't, we need that firepower.
Thinking about Cam just and his path, he's like the leading scorer for number 14 in the country. Probably not a highly recruited guy though out of high school. What do you think that journey was like for him, and what do you think he missed? And is that something that he keeps as a chip on his shoulder, do you think?
I think he's kind of missed this. I think obviously last year at Rutgers they had a really good year. That they were really close to being a tournament team, and maybe they should have been a tournament team. Just crunching the numbers, but I think he brings a nice hunger to the program. A guy that has not played in the NCAA tournament yet, has not experienced maybe quite this level of success with the team. So I think having people in your program that didn't experience last year is really, really healthy, and I think gives us that added edge. We want him to experience what it feels like when you're playing top of sport.
He's kind of a lot different from like the freshmen who are like top 60 recruits. Very different kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're not rooting for a guy like that, if you're not rooting for the player or the coach that wasn't born on third base, or that's had to earn it every step of the way and had to conquer, all these different levels just to get that next opportunity. Like, what the hell are we rooting for in sports if you're not rooting for self-made people?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Dan.
Appreciate you. Thank you. This is my way out.